The headlines: Kidnappers kill another young girl abducted in Abuja. President Tinubu, dignitaries mark 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Nigeria's inflation rises to new record of 28.9%. On the foreign scene, 22 miners confirmed dead after landslide in small-scale mine in Tanzania. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the details. We'll start with security. In a disturbing incident, a young girl abducted in the Dutse area of the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT, has met a tragic end at the hands of her captors after her family failed to meet the demanded 50 million naira ransom. The victim, along with her two cousins and other residents, including her mother and three siblings, fell prey to abduction on Sunday, January 7, 2024, at Sagwari Layout Estate, Dutse. Sadly, the lifeless body of the young girl was discovered among 4 corpses of kidnapped victims dumped at Ida near Ushafa in Buari Area Council. Hassana Suleiman, a family member, revealed that the kidnappers initially demanded a ransom of 50 million naira for the release of the deceased and had 2 cousins. The tragedy unfolded when the family was unable to meet the ransom requirement. This chilling incident underscores the urgent need for enhanced security measures and concerted efforts to combat the rising menace of kidnapping in the region. Outrage on Sunday trailed the killing of one of the 6 sisters kidnapped Tuesday night by bandits in Abuja. The siblings were kidnapped alongside their father, Mansur Al-Qadariyar, from their home at Zuma 1 on the outskirts of Buari town in Abuja. The captors had released their father, asking him to go and get 60 million naira as ransom for the release of his daughters on or before last Friday. They later raised the ransom to 100 million naira, which they insisted must be paid by Wednesday. One of the victims, Nabiha Al-Qadariyar, a 400-level student of biological science, Ahmadu Bello University, the ABU Zaria, was killed by the bandits on Friday, while her 5 sisters, including Najiba, a 500-level quantity surveying student, and Nadira, 300-level zoology student, are still in captivity. An uncle of the victims, who simply identified himself as Sharif Din, called on the federal government to rescue the remaining 5 sisters and all other captives still in kidnappers' den. Earlier, we spoke to Abdul Karim Momini, Daily Trust correspondent in Kwara State, via Zoom, or via phone call rather, on developments around the incident. Take a listen.
For now, it has been a really traumatizing period for the family. Although as being Muslims, they somehow accepted it as a fate from God. The 5 daughters, like it has been widely reported, the 5 of them are siblings of the same of Alhaji Mansur Al-Qadariyar. Now, the 3 that are the 3 daughters that seem to be very prominent in the media. The other 2 daughters, the last 2 daughters, I think they are twin daughters, Habiba and Anissa. The thing is Nabiha, who is the foreign level minister of ABU. Now, and she is the first daughter, as a child, the second daughter, 2 years old. The family has been trying to also see if they can reach the additional fund. Though we heard that some help has been coming. People like this Pantami, the flood insurance has also tried adding voice to the situation. And also, I think we learned that the state government is also trying to do something about the release. But now the family is what was discussed with the uncle yesterday. This Sheikh Din was saying that initially they were trying to hide it from the patriarch of the family is the chief imam of Ansari Islam, Ansari in Nigeria, in Ilorin. And initially, they were trying to hide the enemy from him. But when he heard that, but somehow he got to know, and was saying that he was even asking, have they killed the 5 of them? That the family as a family of faith, they've accepted this in God's hand, and they are forgivers of calling Nigerians to try and see how to help the many victims that are still in captivity. So for now, they are raising money. They are calling for help. But the faith in God is still there. That God will determine the end of this disturbed and traumatizing situation for them.
The Northern Consensus Movement of Nigeria has warned security agencies, particularly the military, against the unjust killings of Nigerians. Trust TV's recent report revealed the discovery of 11 Fulani bodies in Kachia local government area of Kaduna State, allegedly killed by soldiers. Despite military denial of involvement, concerns persist over the reported incident. During a press briefing in Kaduna, alongside victims' relatives and Fulani leaders from Laduga community, the NCM president stressed the need for the Nigerian military, known for professionalism, to prevent tarnishing its reputation by a few rogue elements. The movement called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene by calling the military to order, while also imploring the Fulani youth to remain calm and allow authorities to thoroughly investigate the incident. NCM President Awal Abdullahi spoke to us earlier on the development.
The reality is that there is allegation of alleged military men seen going house to house, picking individuals and then shooting them aside. Then decomposed bodies found. Now, I said alleged because this thing is still under investigation. I know, like I said during my press conference, I know that the military are highly professional, most especially the Nigerian military. They are highly professional, well-trained, very disciplined, and also those who respect human life, human sanctity under the Constitution and the Charter of the United Nations. So I am still having my doubt if truly those that were seen in uniform are truly military men, because I know, like I said, the military knows their constitutional roles. They also know that it is not within the Constitution for them to just shoot on sight and on an armed person just seated by the side and coming to arrest the person and taking the person or group of people somewhere, and then all that was done was to find their body lying down dead. This is why we express displeasure over that incident, and also called for professionalism, and also requested for the rule of law to come to play when it comes to issue of crime and criminality. Like I said, the armed forces or the security agencies are superintending over the nation. They are also working hard, assiduously, towards ensuring that criminals and criminality are eliminated within the whole of Nigeria, not only in Kaduna or the northern Nigeria, but the whole of Nigeria. I strongly want to believe that justice will be served because, like I said earlier, the high echelon of the armed forces or the military are highly professional, highly respected, and then very disciplined. If you take, for example, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Siju Musa, I know very well that that man is highly professional, very disciplined, and also respects the constitutionality of Nigeria and that of human right. Same goes to the Chief of Army Staff and even the other service chiefs. I know that they are selected based on merit, they are selected based on competence, they are selected based on professionalism, they are selected based on their human communication, as well as the value for human life.
Meanwhile, the leaderships of the Arewa Consultative Forum, the ACF, and Northern Elders Forum, the NEF, have met to form a united front and confront the challenges bedeviling the northern region. As part of their efforts to combat prevailing and emerging problems, a delegation of ACF visited the NEF chairman, Ango Abdullahi, at his residence in Zaria, where they deliberated on issues of unity among members of Arewa groups. In a statement issued by the spokesman for the ACF, Tukur Muhammad Baba, on Sunday, the leadership of the Arewa Consultative Forum said discussions centered on ways to guide and influence the national discourse on issues relevant to northern Nigeria. He said it is to enable the region overcome its varied existential challenges and ultimately regain its unity. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu performed the wreath-laying ceremony with other dignitaries to mark the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Abuja. All services chiefs, led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and heads of other security agencies, amongst others, also took part in the ceremony. The program, which is organized yearly to commemorate Nigeria's fallen heroes, also witnessed other activities such as prayers, gun salutes, and the releasing of pigeons at the National Arcade, Eagle Square, Abuja. In attendance to witness this ceremony were members of the Federal Executive Council, the members of the Diplomatic Corps, and other dignitaries. Across the country, state governors and other dignitaries also performed several rites to mark the day.
The wreath-laying ceremony involves the placing of flowers at the memorial site. In the military, this is done at the tomb of the unknown soldier, and this solemn ritual has continued to be observed globally till date. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing.
Students at the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa in Ondo State have shut down the institution to protest the over 100% increase in their tuition fee by the school management. The undergraduate students who assembled at the university's main gate in the early hours of Monday were seen chanting solidarity songs and waving their placards bearing different inscriptions. Daily Trust reported that a circular earlier released by the institution's management showed that the tuition fee was raised from 29,000 naira to 131,000 naira for the old students, while the fee was raised from 108,000 naira to 240,000 naira for fresh students. The development had raised concerns among the students who vowed to shut down academic activities on the campus starting from Monday. Meanwhile, heavily armed security personnel, including men of the Nigerian Police Force, the State Security Service, and Federal Road Safety Corps are currently manning strategic locations of the school campus to avoid breakdown of law and order. Nigeria's inflation figure has continued to increase, pace posting a 28.92% rise in December 2023. The new record is the highest in 24 years. In a report released by the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, early on Monday, December 2023, inflation rate of 28.92% represent an increase of 0.72% from the 28.20% recorded in November 2023. On a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 7.58% points higher compared to the rate recorded in December 2022, which was 21.34%. This shows that the headline inflation rate year-on-year basis increased in December 2023 when compared to the same month in the preceding year. According to NBS, the rise in food inflation on a year-on-year basis was caused by increases in prices of bread and cereals, oil and fat, potatoes, yam and other tubers, fish, meat, fruit, milk, cheese and egg. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, movie streaming services take over cinema patronage in Kano. We'll take a look at this and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Kidnappers kill another young girl abducted in Abuja. And President Tinubu dignitaries mark 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Now moving on to more stories. The Kano cinemas, once known for hosting a series of activities and accommodating people from different backgrounds, are now living in shadows of their former selves. The cinemas are struggling with low patronage because of the availability of films on mobile phones and videos on demand streaming services provided on the internet. In this report, Salim Ibrahim chronicles the rise and fall of cinema culture in Kano. Take a look.
The few cinemas that are still left in operation are now struggling with the lowest air patronage amidst rise and availability of mobile phones and internet connectivity. The few cinemas in operation now look very old, unkept and barely managed, as both building, seats and other things attached look very old and out of shape, dusty and tattered. Marhaba Cinema is one of the first cinemas in Nigeria located in Kano. It was built during the early 80s and it was the first cinema to be airing movies at that time. Although many advanced and improved cinemas have taken over, Marhaba Cinema will always be remembered as an iconic cinema in the history of Kano. However, the memories created at Marhaba by many, it is now standing as just a building that can be best described like a graveyard or an abandoned farm far from a village settlement. Though in the midst of many buildings and a market by the side, it could only be identified and related by those who knew it before. Marhaba Cinema was shut down more than 10 years ago, and currently it has been sold to an individual who has no intention of reviving it. The building is still standing with old padlocks glued to the doors and the surrounding taken over by weed.
Cinema has been a learning center where you go to learn new cultures and traditions of some people that are outside your immediate environment. It was not just for fun, but also for learning. The category of people that even go to cinema are adults as at the time because they can easily comprehend what is going on and they can learn. But now you see young people, due to change in lifestyle, going to watch things like football.
The activities of the cinema before is based on the learning a culture or other cultures from the other communities. That is why you see in most cases, you see the elder people used to enter the cinema because they enter not to learn the bad thing. No, they enter to learn the other communities' culture so that they will live peacefully together. That is the.
While some like the Marhaba have been closed down, others, like Plaza, have been wiped up from history as the building have been demolished and now a new plaza serving as a business environment has been replaced. El Dorado and Queen's Cinemas, all located in Savangari area of Fage local government, are struggling to keep afloat despite the huge decline in patronage. The only patronage that keeps the places alive is football matches that are shown almost on a daily basis. However, they still lack customers to come in.
It was booming, bustling before now. Everything has gone down. What we are getting mostly now is from watching football. The market is no more. Honestly, as you know, almost everything has changed. I can always remember how it was before. Cinema is a place you go for lecture. When we were young, we used to see very influential and highly placed individuals going to the cinema. You will see judges, royal and traditional leaders, religious leaders, all going there. You will see a whole household led by their father coming to watch films and shows because there was a lot to learn from there. But now there is nothing like that.
When asked about patronage from producers of films and other shows, he highlighted that the decline in the culture of coming to cinema has contributed to the loss of confidence from producers as they don't make their business or money back. Salim Umar Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
From the international scene, 22 people have been confirmed dead following a landslide at a small-scale mine in northern Tanzania, the government officials said. The accident occurred at the Ngalita mine in the Bariadi district of Simiyu region. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan said on Sunday, expressing great sadness at the loss. She said in a post on the social media platform X that the miners were earning a living for themselves, their families, and contributing to the development of the nation. Faustin Ntitu, acting commander for the region's fire and rescue force, says rescue operations closed on Sunday and all 22 deceased were men. The accident happened early on Saturday after a group of people aged between 24 and 38 years old started mining in an area where activity had been restricted due to ongoing heavy rains. And finally, in sports, head coach of Nigerian men's handball senior team, Rafiu Salami, has announced his final 16-man squad for the forthcoming African Cup of Nations in Cairo, Egypt. The 26th African Men's Handball Championship will be held from 17th to 27th of January 2024 in Egypt. The list consists of 3 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 5 midfielders, and 8 forwards. The Golden Arrows will kick off their quest and will take on Angola on Wednesday, 17th January, in their first match of Group D, before further clashes with Tunisia on January 19th and Kenya on January 21st. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.